that God is. The Christian worldview requires a step of faith. The no God worldview also requires a step of faith. But honest apologetics, as Lee Strobel and others before him have found, brings you to the place where belief is a step of faith rather than a leap of faith. You cannot prove the Christian worldview by textual or scientific or medical or linguistic processes, but you can support them. You can accumulate evidence in favor of the God worldview to the point where when the Holy Spirit gets active with you and invites you to a step of faith, it's a step of faith rather than a leap of faith. And then once one has acknowledged the God worldview as opposed to the no God worldview, the whole rest of the truths of Christianity come pretty easily. There really isn't any firm place to stand in between. If you do believe in God and then turn around and don't believe in the truths of Christ, I don't have time to walk through all of it here, but there's really no good place to stand. And especially the one example I will bring is the resurrection. The reason most people don't believe in the resurrection is because they don't believe in resurrections, plural. They don't believe that anybody ever raises from the dead. The reason they just turn to the thing that says Jesus was raised from the dead and say, oh, that never happens. The reason that Christ didn't raise from the dead is that people just don't rise from the dead. And it's true of him as it's true with everybody else. It just doesn't happen. So therefore it didn't happen this time. It's a very deductive, general to the specific process. But once you believe that God is who he is and God can do anything, recalling that God created people out of dust, then the resurrection of Jesus Christ becomes possible. And then when the question is moved on to the plane, now that there's a God out there that could do it, the question is, did it happen or did it not happen? All of a sudden, the evidences line up overwhelmingly. Because once you've believed that it could happen, the evidences that it did happen are 9-1 in favor. So that's what's going on there. But you have to believe that God is. And smarter people than me have walked through a lot of processes to bring it to a step of faith, but it still is a step of faith. Thank God for the Holy Spirit. He helps us make that step of faith.